let's talk about HomePods, my friends.
It's the feel-good story of the week.
Because the HomePods, they're not dead. They should have never died. If you've got a HomePod wrapped in a box, you got a treasure that you should hang on to.
A year after Apple discontinued the HomePod, the smart speakers are regularly selling on eBay. Oh my God, that's Loser Bay. Okay, are you familiar with it?
That's where Lewis shops. Elbay. There's no one there. He's like, I can never find anything. There's never anything there to buy.
A year after Apple discontinued the HomePod, the smart speakers regularly sell on eBay for more than the original asking price.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that? More than the original asking price. If you remember, original HomePod cost $349 when it launched in 2018. Then, a little more than a year later, Apple reduced the price to $299, and eventually, citing lackluster sales, Apple discontinued the HomePod in March 2021. Cue the little death march.
Wow, they
sound.
had it going for 3 years?
It's kind of hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that long.
Well, so anyway, since they pulled the plug, how things have changed. So this is based on some data cited by The Verge. Over the past year, 6,610 HomePods sold on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fairly large number of speakers, right? Like, how many did Apple even produce? We never heard a number, right?
10,000, maybe.
So the speaker's selling price averaged $347.61, or more than 15% above Apple's final retail price prior to discontinuation. Here's where it really gets crazy. Slightly more than 2,000 new or sealed HomePods sold over that year. They averaged selling price of $432.27. That's over the past
wild.
year.
Yeah.
Right. And prices just keep going up. In the past week, new HomePods sold for an average price. New ones. This is new ones. $638.76.
Man, I wish I had scooped up. I'm just kicking myself because remember when Costco, they must have had some inside information and they were liquidating the HomePods for $150.
I wish I would.
Remember when did I tell you about that? Right?
Yeah,
we were
right after they stopped selling them.
And then I was like, oh, I missed the sale, but I'm sure they'll have the sale back, right? And then nope, they were liquidating them, never to carry them again. If only I had known, I would have bought 4 of those dang things and just kept them in storage. That's how much I love the HomePods. I mean, I wonder if you have a HomePod break, is Apple even able to repair them anymore? Are you even able to get it fixed?
Yeah, that's what I don't know. I mean, I've never actually heard of anybody trying to get one fixed. I've read reports of people having them bricked by software updates and of course that clicking of death or whatever the hell it is.
Because you could have bought Apple Care for them, and so technically speaking, Apple would still be on the hook for Apple Care for people that purchase that.
If you bought Apple Care Plus, it's a couple of years on, right?
Yeah,
I mean, what is it, the last 2 years? So, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. That's the weird thing. Like, what do you do if something breaks and they don't make it anymore? I mean, do they even have parts to replace them? I mean,
I'm sure they've got parts, but
must have some. But
yeah, golly, it's just such a bummer. Well, look, let's not get all sad yet because Apple's clearly got something going on with HomePods, right? I mean, they keep updating the HomePod. They've made it much better since they have discontinued it, and they keep coming out with updates for it.
That's true, and it does still sound good.
And it still sounds beautiful.
We had some people come to our house the other day, and then they were asking my wife, "Oh, what is that? Where can I get one?" I was like, "Yeah, sorry,
too late." Should listen to the CultCast.
I mean, the only thing that's wrong with the HomePod Mini or the regular HomePod actually is that it's not quite loud enough. I mean, do you notice this? Like certain Apple TV channels, like let's just say Shudder. You ever watch Shudder? It's like a horror movie channel, right?
I've heard of it. I've never used it.
Some of those movies are really quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, I the other day, the wife and I were watching a movie, and we're sitting there, and I'm like, and she goes, "Can you turn that up?" And I'm like, "It is up all the way."
Mm-hmm.
And usually, I mean, she is always like, going, "Oh, please turn it down, please turn it down." And I'm like, "Yeah, explosions are loud, and then once the explosions stop, they'll be talking, and we won't be able to hear it at all because it'll be this loud." And so we were constantly like fighting over the volume, right? But she's going, "Please turn it up. I can't hear anything." It's like, yeah, it's maxed out. So I don't understand why Apple TV can't take care of that. I don't understand why the HomePod is, I guess it's not really the HomePod that's not loud enough, but if it was actually able to produce even more volume when you come across one of these low volume inputs, it would be nice to have a little bit of headroom.
Yeah, I agree. And one of the complaints about the regular HomePods were that they weren't loud enough. Even
No, that's what I'm
mode.
talking about.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about a regular HomePod in stereo mode. Like there are certain things that are plenty loud, but there are other things it's just not enough oomph there. And I don't know what the limiting factor is. I'm not going to go dig into it and figure. I mean, I'm sure it's something to do with the original encoding of the movie or something, but it seems like certain Apple TV channels are quieter than other ones, and I don't exactly know why. But what I'm saying is, I'd like it to be louder, not softer.
Yeah.
And the HomePod Mini is just there's no way you could use it as a soundbar in any sort of
no
credible
way.
way. I've heard of people doing it, but
if you have a small apartment or something, sure. Or if you're just sitting at your desk, sure. But they don't get nearly as loud as a HomePod. And I would say not even 2 HomePod Minis get as loud as one HomePod. I haven't tested that, but that's kind of the way it feels. And then 2 HomePods in stereo pair, get out of my face. Get out of my face with that nonsense. Not even having that discussion with you. And, Apple could have, and what I was hoping, I think what many of us were hoping, is they would have, they were in the TV home, how do I say this? The TV audio space, right? They could have had a package of HomePods that you can use for surround sound, wireless surround sound, and then release like a subwoofer. And I think that would have sold pretty well for them.